Do you all know how we do this thing? Where am I forever advancing yourself, people? Do you all know how we do this thing? We do take it from level to level to level to level. How you all doing this afternoon? What I'm getting ready to talk about, inboxers, you all been questioning me about it. And I'm looking at two monitors again today. I'm going to try to answer your questions through YouTube videos that are located online. There is something that's going on in the United States of America, in our White House, to be specific about what I'm getting ready to talk about. And it's more dangerous than you and I really think it is. I'm talking about dangerous now, to the point where Elon Musk and Donald Trump trying to silence us as American citizens. They trying to silence congressmen and congresswomen in the Democratic Party. They're trying to make us be quiet, don't want us saying anything, pretty much like Adolf Hitler did to Jews during the Jewish Holocaust. Yes, I'm going to go there. And we are in dangerous, but never forget about January the 6th. Never forget about the White House invasion, January the 6th. It's going to repeat itself, but it's going to be different. A lot of you all been asking me questions. I got to be honest with you about what I feel and what I see and what I'm hearing and what I'm reading in forums and all over the land, because it's a coup. It's been a governmental coup. It's been a governmental takeover by Donald Trump, Elon Musk in that White House, and we the people are going to have to visit the White House again. Yes, we're going to have to visit that White House again because our freedoms are going to be taken from us. The way we know life here in America, it changed already. Yes, inboxers, people all over the world. We are in a predicament here in the country called the United States. We are in a predicament, people that's talking to me and inboxing me and emailing me. We are in a dangerous, dangerous situation here. And some of us, we go on with life like everything is just hunky dory and that there's nothing to be talking about, nothing to pray about. Just keep on going. They'll be quiet after a while. No, they won't. They're trying to silence us. They're trying to silence us. Just like what Elon Musk was doing in Pretoria and his dad and his family and the white European people in South Africa that had taken that land from the African people. Yes, I got some videos. They took their land, right? Took thousands and thousands and thousands of acres of land from African people. Now, I'm going to tell you why USAID was stopped from going to African countries. I'm going to tell you the truth why Donald Trump and Elon Musk stopped that food, stopped medication for AIDS and HIV, stopped everything from going to the African continent to help these people. He was trying to threaten the president or Captain Ibrahim Traore of what's the name of this place? I want to get it right. He was trying to threaten him, and he did threaten this president, African president, who is the president of Burkina Faso in Africa. Yes, Donald Trump stopped the food from going to Africa because he was mad with this black president, African president, that's over Burkina Faso in Africa. And the reason why Donald Trump is mad and he's lying on this president of Africa is because the president, Ibrahim Traore, he is getting ready to take land back for real that African people own from the very beginning. We own that land in Africa. We were there before anybody got there. Our foreparents were there before they came to Africa, took them from Africa, brought them over here to make them slaves. And it was colonized, European America, European Americans and the Dutch took land from these people that was already on the African continent, black people, African people, and they forced them off of their land. They forced them off of their land. And a lot of times when I talk like this, people don't want to listen to me. They get mad. But I got to show people the real truth behind what's really happening here and why Donald Trump and Elon Musk is in the White House stealing all the money. Some people say that we may get some money. That's not the point. They're stealing all the money from the federal agencies, and we can't do anything about it. It doesn't seem like we can stop them from doing anything. Yeah, I knew there's some money stealing been going on. Yes, these people steal money. I already said that in my video. Those people in those high official in those federal agencies, they do steal money and they have been stealing money. But it doesn't make it right for Donald Trump and Elon Musk to go in and fire everybody and then take the money and run. Go on, take the money and run. That's what they're doing. So, inboxers, let's cut to the chase and let me give you a little information about why Donald Trump and Elon Musk is so mad with the African continent now and trying to do bad stuff against them. And you better understand Elon Musk is from Pretoria, South Africa, and they became billionaires. His family became billionaires in South Africa off the back of poor, starving, dying African people during the era of apartheid in South Africa. And Nelson Mandela died trying to fight for those people, and other people was fighting too. But my name and what I remember ringing in my mind is Nelson Mandela, and they got a statue of him at some type of place. It's in South Africa, and I looked at his statue. A lot of times I look at it. What that man stood for, Nelson Mandela. What Nelson Mandela stood for, what he fought for, why they kept on putting that man in prison. They wanted him to shut up. And that's what Elon Musk and Donald Trump trying to do to a Democratic congressman now, trying to make him shut up. And they're going to say they're going to prosecute him and put him in jail if he doesn't shut up. So they're going to take our First Amendment right from us, our freedom of speech. They want to take that from everybody. But this is the time you better open your mouth. You better open your mouth because they're trying to do us like Adolf Hitler did those Jews. And we're living here in America. And Donald Trump is mad with the continent of Africa. That's why he and Elon Musk stopped sending USAID shipments to these people to feed these starving people in Africa. Let me get to it. Let me show you exactly the truth of what the matter is going on so you can know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So what I'm going to go right now is a video where it says that Captain Traore, he's a president though. Captain Traore, Burkina Faso, ignores USA President Trump and joins South Africa. This is a South African president that's sticking with South Africa because of land reform. He's trying to get their land back. Our land was taken too. Don't ever forget, right here in the United States of America, and white people took our land from us too as African Americans. They sure did. Don't ever forget that. That's why they have hundreds and hundreds of acres of land and we don't have none. They took our foreparents' land here in this country that we did own. We did have land. But see, what this president of Africa is doing, he's stopping all precious minerals from coming to the United States. Now, I don't blame him. I do not blame this president of South Africa one bit. He's the president of Burkina Faso. He said he's not going to send America no more precious minerals. They've been sending this country precious minerals and they giving them a penny on the dollar. They wasn't paying them right or anything. So now they're self-sufficient in Africa. And they're teaching everybody to be self-sufficient. And Donald Trump trying to go after this man. And Elon Musk, they want these people dead. Understand me. They want them dead. Understand me. They want them dead. You know why? Because they're fighting to get our land back. They're fighting to get land back and they're getting ready to do it. They haven't started it yet. He's trying to lay out laws and regulations and rules, trying to research the property and the land, who owned that land before the colonization. The Dutch came into Africa and colonized that continent and colonized that place. and took things from the people that were native of Africa. They were living there. And they came in and they took everything, started digging up diamonds. When they found out diamonds was there, they ran all the Africans off in the ghetto areas and in the slum areas where some of them are still living today. But they ran them off of their land. And now this president is going back after their land reform and reparation. What they should have been doing for us here in this country, but Donald Trump would never try to give us anything. As far as I know, and as far as I'm studying, President Donald Trump not going to do anything for us. And Elon Musk does not care. That's why you, as a white woman and a white man, you lost your federal job. Yeah, you lost your federal position. They went in and they took your jobs and your livelihood from you. That's why I say the White House, the same thing getting ready to happen again. Don't you ever think that people are going to sit back and feel powerless and won't create war against that White House again. And they're going to do it. All of them going to be in cahoots together now, because one thing about it, they're losing their jobs too. They're losing everything. And they voted for him. And he's taking everything from them. Their livelihood. They're losing their home. They're losing their cars. They're losing everything. They're losing their marriages. Because of who? President Donald Trump and Elon Musk and those Republicans that don't have no spine. They have no backbone. They're not speaking up. They are afraid. They're real scared. Everybody's scared. And that's what Elon and Donald Trump trying to make us be real scared and be quiet. They want us to be real quiet. Before I be really quiet and I don't have a voice to say anything, if somebody starts threatening me, I'm going to get a coup together. I'm going to get a coup together, just like a lot of people planning right now. They're getting their people together with their guns, and they're going to go to the White House. I'm just telling y'all what I'm reading online. They're planning it. They're planning it right now. If these people do not leave folks' money alone, and if they keep on overriding the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court keep letting Donald Trump let everything go through, y'all going to see an invasion of the White House again. Let me say it again, Holy Spirit. You will see another invasion of that White House again. And they're going to go and they're looking for Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and those other representatives that's not trying to help us. Don't you ever forget it. If you listen to the forums and if you go online and you research, you'll see what I'm saying is true. But you got to go underground to find this information. You got to really dig. I've been digging all morning. I've been digging for you all morning to let you know, be prepared for this uprising that's going to happen on American soil. I told you to get your passport now. Guess what I heard on the news this morning? Guess what I heard on the news this morning? You're going to need 2 forms of identification just to get on an airplane. And what they said, you're going to need your driver's license and a passport. Yeah, I heard that. Was that yesterday or this morning? I told you all, didn't I? It was heavy in my spirit to get your passport. So now before you can really fly, you can't just go and use your driver's license, because you know what they're still trying to do? They're trying to get us deported. I'm talking about black people now. It's us that Elon is looking at and Donald Trump. Y'all can say what you want to say about me. I don't have anything against anybody of any color or any race. You could be a Negro, but if you're doing me wrong and you're doing people wrong, I'm going to be against you. I'm going to be against you 100%. And I'm going to tell everybody in the world to be against you, especially if I see that you're trying to kill somebody. Are you trying to destroy a race of people like Adolf Hitler did? Don't ever forget Elon Musk threw that damn sign up. They can tell me and say whatever. They can say it was a salute all they want to. It wasn't. It was for hatred. And to pass that message on along the world, and what they're doing, they're not only just going to deport illegals and dangerous people and gang members, they're looking at us now. They're looking to get rid of you as a black African American here in the United States. Don't you ever forget it. Don't ever forget it. Because what was going on in South Africa, in Pretoria, South Africa, where Elon Musk is from, was some atrocities, people. They already, they colonized Africa and took that land from these people and put them in ghettos and on outskirts of nothing but jungles, and they had nowhere they had to build huts. They took all that pristine, beautiful land by the beach, You know what? You look at Johannesburg, Cape Town, all those places in Africa that's so beautiful, and America try to make it look like it's a filthy, nasty place. No, they try to make it look like that because they know European Americans took land from Africans there, took all their land and left them in nothing but poverty. Nelson Mandela died fighting for that freedom to end apartheid, and they ended it, yeah, but people are still slaves in Africa, yes. All right, follow me. You better do something about something. You better say something. You better start saying something. Oh, you don't care. You know how tired people are, man, in this world, especially the Democrats. Do you know how they don't get sleep, really don't sleep anymore? You see how hard they are trying to stop the steal, man, trying to stop this governmental takeover. And everybody feeling it that thought they wouldn't feel it. And they crying now on TikTok and Scoops and YouTube, making videos, just crying, crying, crying. White people, all color. Because Donald Trump took their federal jobs from them. And those are going to be the ones looking for him and everybody else. One day, I don't know when it's going to happen, but we're not going to put up with it. These people are not going to put up with it. If they did it on January the 6th, they'll do it again. If they was, I'm talking about MAGA people. If they got mad enough to go up in there on January the 6th, they mad right now. And they planning something right now. You could take it or leave it. They going up in there. They're going up in there again. I advise everybody to be ready because they're going up in that White House again because we are powerless against Donald Trump and Elon Musk and the Supreme Court and the House of Representatives and the Republican Party that's up in there scared as I don't know what. They are so scared of Elon Musk and Donald Trump. There's no way no laws can pass up in there unless God does it. But God gave you 5 senses now. The Lord has given us 5 senses to see what's going on and say something. Use your voice piece. Speak out about it. It's wrong. So I'm just trying to shed some light on why Elon Musk and Donald Trump is so hard against Africa. Now, Elon Musk probably got away from that place. And if he ever go back, I don't think he ever going to make it out of Africa alive. You know why? Because those people know how he is. Those Africans know all about Elon Musk. And Elon Musk's family destroyed them in the apartheid area. Him and a whole lot of other people took their lands from them by force and forced them off their land, took their property from them. And now it's a powerful president, they call him Captain Ibrahim Traore in South Africa. He's trying to get back what European Americans have taken from African American people, from Africans, from the Afrikaners that lived in Africa, was all over the continent of Africa. It was them. You can call them the indigenous Africans, whatever you want to call them. They were the ones living there. I want to show you something. It's a video on YouTube that I have pulled up, entitled "Captain Traore Burkina Faso Ignore USA President Trump and Join South Africa." Okay, this black man has an accent. Okay, he has an accent. I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna upload the video to YouTube anyway because I want the pictures so you all can see the name of it, and it's gonna be on YouTube. If you go on YouTube right now and look for my name, you'll see me live. But I want to show you something. Just listen. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear anything that this man was saying? I'm just talking. Did you hear anything that he just said? That's why Donald Trump and Elon Musk are upset with Africa. Let me play it again. Just a minute. I'm gonna play it again. Okay. It's really sad. It's really sad we're going through the same crap that Africans went through so many centuries ago, and they went through purity hell. Someone come in and take your land from you. I'm talking about precious land with precious mineral, diamond, and gold underground, uranium, and someone just come in and just take your land from you.
Hello,
Listen,
my friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's an overcast day today in the Caribbean island paradise. But I just thought I would bring to you some breaking news coming out of South Africa and Burkina Faso. Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso, joins with South Africa. Yes, my friends, the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore, has joined with South Africa, ignoring the USA Donald Trump's.
okay, did you hear what this man said? This here president or the captain, Ibrahim Traore, ignored President Donald Trump. And Donald Trump, that's why he's mad at Africa. Because Donald Trump was trying to get this president to come to his inauguration. Because Donald Trump and Elon Musk want to control Africa all over again and do those people wrong in Africa. But this president say no, 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 no. These people already been through enough in the apartheid area, and Elon Musk was back then, and he was back there on that land now. I understand his parents is still there, and they oppressed them people during apartheid, and they became billionaires. Now, that same man is in our White House. The same man is in the White House in the United States of America. His name is Elon Musk. No one voted for him. He was not elected. What you think he's doing there? What you think he's doing there? He coming after us. He hate African people, black people, colored people. Donald Trump is the same way. You all better be ready. We had better be ready. Better be ready, baby, because what I'm trying to show you all and what I'm trying to teach you all, somebody may want to target me because they don't want you all to know this. The White House does not want you to know that Elon is up in there doing stuff, evil stuff, and it's going to trickle down to us in the end. And they're going to jump on the plane when they do all their dirty deeds and do whatever they're supposed to do. Some of you still think we're going to get some money. Okay, I hope we do. But he's in our White House, and everybody's scared of him. What you think going to happen? All the Republicans are afraid of Donald Trump and Elon Musk. They scared of them. They so scared they won't say nothing. They won't vote against them because they know what's going to happen to them. And what's going to happen to them is what Elon Musk and Donald Trump is doing to a Democratic. He looked like he's a Mexican American or something, but he's a Democrat. And he said that he can't get fearful like a lot of people are so scared. He said we got to resist. We have got to fight against them because they're coming after us and after our freedom and after our money and after our job and after our rights. And we're going to be a third world country, boys. Don't you know Africa is number one almost? I'm telling you, they still got people starving. But guess what? We got people starving here too. America, Babylon, we falling. We are falling, y'all, for real. Babylon must fall. But just because they're taking everything from the people, it doesn't mean that we have to take it. You got power, baby. Don't ever sit back and be quiet. Don't ever sit back and not be ready to fight and resist what they're doing in that White House. Those are those people are human. Forget about the titles. That's a man. Those are men and women in that White House, and they're taking things from you, from the whole United States of America. Everybody gonna feel that pressure. We're gonna feel that crunch. And that's why the African continent, they're fighting against Donald Trump. Donald Trump better not go over there messing with them. Elon better not go back over there. Do you hear me? He will not make it back. He will not make it back. Because you know what? They know he's coming over there to kill them or to do something evil. And I know they watching these two people like hawks, man. They got CIA people in Africa watching them. They got them watching them. They got their own military. Understand, this man got a military of 50,000 plus soldiers ready to fight. And they may have to come over here on American soil to help us. Do you hear me? I hope you hear me loud and clear. Africa, the people that the United States didn't even want to come over here. He blocked the borders, don't want people to even fly back and forth to Africa. Don't you ever think for 1 second they won't be the ones that come over here and fight for us. China and Africa. I'll say China, Africa, and Russia. They know what we're getting ready to go through. Believe that. They know what we're going through. Don't you be surprised. I saw military uniforms at my porch in a vision. I saw that man knocking. He was from a different country. But it looked like they was fighting the people down the street. So I don't know what's getting ready to happen here. Maybe they trying to do a takeover and take our lands from us here in America too. And deport us to Guantanamo Bay. Yeah, you a black woman and a black man. I don't care what color you are. They want the United States of America to be all European, white people. They want to be all white, and that's the honest to God truth. They want that. Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Just like Adolf Hitler thought the Jews was like a defective race of people. And he killed these people in concentration camps and gas chambers and starved them to death. What are we going to eat after a while? What's going to be out there for everybody to eat after a while if they keep on doing what they're doing in the White House to people? Huh? Think about it. I'm going to play this here, a YouTube video. You can, it's hard to hear this African man. He has an accent, but he's telling us as Americans what is going on. And it's good what that man, that president of Burkina Faso is doing. It's good what he's doing, you all. It's good what he's doing. He's looking into a legal way to revamp that land that was taken from Africans. He's looking for a way to get it back without bloodshed. Well, baby, he got 50,000 militiamen that's ready to kill and fight if they have to. And they can come right over here if we need them bad enough. And they start harassing us too bad here in the United States of America and trying to annihilate us. Get online, get in contact with Ibrahim and tell him we need his help. Send his militia over to America and do warfare against the White House if we have to do it. If they don't leave us alone and keep taking money from everybody, taking our Social Security, Elon want him to do it. Elon come here to destroy us. Elon Musk is in the White House to destroy everybody. You understand me? He's here to destroy you, don't you understand? And you a white woman. He's here to kill you and your family. Look how he be looking, his eyes. Look how that man look at people. Look at how he look at Donald Trump sometimes. You don't pay attention to that demon spirit that's inside of Elon Musk. The devil himself. They took everything in South Africa from the African people. His family did it. and other people. And they sent him on to Canada somewhere. They got all the land and the minerals that they wanted, and they became billionaires off of the poor apartheid black Africans suffering in slums and ghettos, and a lot of them still living like that right today. And this man is trying to get their land back for them so they can farm their land, so they can be self-sufficient. And he's doing the right thing. He is doing the right thing, and God giving him the ability and the power to do it. And if somebody try to touch him, I promise you, I hope the Lord kill whoever try to mess with that man in Africa, because he's not bothering anybody. And Donald Trump mad with him because he wouldn't come to his inauguration. The Western world, they don't control Africa anymore. Don't get it twisted. We don't control Africa anymore. Africa used to depend on us to send them food and stuff. 8 months before Donald Trump stopped USAID and Elon Musk stopped that food from coming to the Africans, this president of Burkina Faso in Africa, I'm talking about Captain President Ibrahim Traore. He's a bad man, and he's powerful, and he overtook a government in Africa. He invented and he started a coup himself. Listen to what I'm saying now. But it was a good coup, because the government is doing like Elon Musk and Donald Trump are doing to us. Hear what I'm saying. What Elon Musk and Donald Trump and the Supreme Court, House of Representatives, and the Republicans are doing to American people, black, white, I don't care what your color is. It was happening in Burkina Faso. And this man, President Ibrahim Traore, he grew up in the ghetto as a little boy. Nothing but poverty. He didn't have anything. And he watched that government do poor people like Elon Musk is doing to us, like Donald Trump is doing to us. This African leader, he watched that as a poor little boy living in the ghetto, in the slums, no food to eat, living in a shack, baby. And he grew up and he took himself to college. Thank you, Jesus. He decided to go to school, and he got his education. He got a degree in, I think it's biology or something. And he started helping poor people because he know what it felt like to be poor. Do you know anything about being hungry? Do you know anything about not having food to eat? Huh? And then we in a government now. Who would have ever believed that our government would be coming against us as people that don't have anything? Well, this black African president, he formed a coup himself. He got his people together just like we need to do. We need to form a coup, and we need to do what we need to do at that White House, because they're going to kill us. They're going to kill us. I don't care what you say. They want the money. The spirit of greed is on them. If they're not talking about giving us $50,000 or $60,000 each, that means they don't want to give us anything. They're taking the money, taking your job. I want you to know that this African man, he got his people together, and he said that they're doing poor people wrong here in Africa. They taking all their land from them. And there was an African man over that place called Burkina Faso back in the day. And this young man, 30-some years old right now, he got a military together, and they agreed to go in with their weapons, and they did a damn governmental takeover, because the government was robbing poor people and killing poor people, taking land from poor people. And that African man said, no, no, no. Are you going to say no, no, no to Donald Trump and Elon Musk in that house, that White House? Are you going to say no, no, no? Y'all doing us wrong. Where's my $100,000? Where's your $100,000 from the Trump administration? They got trillions of dollars because they took your job from you. So are they going to give us any crumbs that fall off the table? Where's our damn money if they're stealing money? They done stole trillions and paying those Project 2025 people. That's why those people not saying anything. And then they're going to do a U-turn on us and try to take our lives. And I'm going to cry out to God to send that African army over here and China. And they will come, and they will blow that damn White House up if they doing something to us to kill us. We're not going to sit back and let them do it. I don't care what come after me. Come on after me if you want to come after Priscilla, but we're going to take that damn White House over again if you keep on messing with us. And you're taking our rights from us as Americans. Elon Musk is an immigrant. He's an illegal alien. And he's in there telling Donald Trump what to do. And you voted for a president who is the president of the United States of America. We don't even have a president. We don't have anything but a bunch of heartache and pain. I heard a woman on YouTube and TikTok talking about, and she said the same thing. We got to wage war against them. I'm talking about bloodshed now. I'm not talking about playing. I'm talking about fighting, killing, because they are coming after us and our rights and our freedom. And the white woman was crying on TikTok. She said, y'all think y'all going to be going to the beaches when the weather get beautiful? You think you're going to be getting on airplanes? She said, you're not going to even be able to fly. She was crying. She said, because they fired everybody, you're going to be afraid to get on them because planes are crashing into each other. They're falling from the sky because Donald Trump fired all of those airline mechanics. What can you do to raise some confusion and make them hire those mechanics back? You are going to be flying somewhere one day. What are you going to do? What can you say to make sure they put the airline mechanics back in the FAA to work on those damn airplanes that you're flying on? Put the air traffic controllers back up in the towers. They only cleaning up shop to steal money. They stealing money. That's all they're doing. And they're not giving us any of it. We're going to need to call on somebody real soon to come here and help us. I don't care if it's Russia. I don't care if it's China. I don't care if it's Captain Ibrahim Traore and his military coming from Africa to do warfare against the United States of America because they're trying to kill us. This administration is trying to kill us. I don't care what you say. They are trying to kill you. They took your job from you. What you think they're trying to do to you? They're trying to kill you and your children. And Elon laughing about it. They drinking and they toasting. And they hee-heeing and ha-haing. And that man looking at us as Americans, he said, I can't stand Americans. I'm going to make sure I destroy every last one of them. I hate Americans. Elon Musk hated America. He's the owner of Tesla. He a billionaire. All them billionaires hate poor people. Where's our damn Robin Hood in our communities? Where's our Robin Hood? Somebody that's fighting for poor people for real and killing for poor people and freedom. Killing for freedom, baby. Killing. I'm not playing. I'm talking about taking lives now. Leave us alone then. Please, Jesus, make them leave us alone. We're going to have to call on Africa. Everybody was trying to say Africa is just an old third world country. It's a continent and they poor and they ain't got nothing. Africa is one of the most beautiful damn places you can see and visit with a bunch of gold and diamond and minerals and a bunch of money. America want their minerals, and this man said he ain't going to send us nothing anymore. And I don't blame him. Not one damn piece of diamond. And he want to take the land that got the diamonds on it that the white people took from the Africans, and he's going to take it. He's going to take that land back for the people that rightfully own that land. What about us? We rightfully own land right here in the United States of America, and you all took it from us. Took it from us, didn't you? It ain't no damn way you own 200,000 acres of land. No, you don't. 100 acres. Where do you get it from? Why you got all that cotton and soybean growing all over somebody else's land, and you took that land from poor black uneducated men and women back in the day? Your parents did that. You might as well start giving that land back to us, because something's going to happen right here in America. You better believe it. If I can see it happening in Africa, I can see it happening here. They don't want to give us no reparation, so what we going to demand? Demand our land back then. Hell, it's our parents' land y'all took. Don't ever get it twisted. And they did the same thing in Africa. Those people were doing real good. They was making tools. I'm talking about BC, before Christ. I'm talking about way back in Africa. They was making tools. They were knowing how to mine the land and get diamonds and things out the ground. They were rich. And the Dutch came in and they brought smallpox into Africa and killed a whole lot of people. Yeah, made them people sick. They weren't used to no nasty diseases like smallpox. And American settlers came in there and killed all them people with smallpox. Somebody need to pay for that. Back to this video again. Listen up.
Threats against Africa in regards to the land reforms. Now, what do I mean by Ibrahim Traore joining with South Africa? Burkina Faso will be doing the same thing that South Africa has done in reclaiming its lands from the white Europeans in Burkina Faso.
Reclaiming their land from the white Europeans in Burkina Faso. They are going to reclaim their land from the white Europeans that took their land from them in Burkina Faso. And they took the best of the best land from these people. So you don't think they're supposed to take their land back? Well, you're wrong about it. You mean to tell me if you had 500,000 acres of land, I come along just because I'm a different color, maybe I'm lighter skinned than you are, and you're a real dark skinned woman. And I said, well, I want her land. I want that 500,000 acres of land. No, just put her back in the ghetto somewhere. I don't care where you put her and her family, but I want that land for me and my family. And then somebody come and take your land from you and give your land to me. 500,000 acres. And there's nothing you can do about it. Well, somebody will have a bullet in their head and a bullet in their ass too, because I ain't going to let you do it. No. And that's exactly what happened to those African people. And you don't think they're supposed to ask for a reform peacefully to these Europeans that's on their land? You don't think they're supposed to ask for their land and try to get their land back? Well, something's going to happen. And they're getting ready to open up a 500-bed hospital in March. Yeah, in Burkina Faso, in Africa. China helped them to build this here beautiful, beautiful, beautiful hospital. And they need it. And it is beautiful. Look for it on YouTube yourself. You don't have to listen to me. Google it. China helped Burkina Faso in Africa to build, $9 million, however much it costs to build that hospital, but it is beautiful. And it's going to open in March. And they're going to have specialized doctors in there, people that know how to do open heart surgery, Chinamen that know how to operate, anybody. China helped them to build it. So, yeah, put some Chinese people to work. America is the only place that's racist and evil. Other countries the same way, but dirty and nasty and want people to do us wrong. Long as they're not doing them wrong, long as it's us that's getting done wrong and getting things taken from us. And I hear that after a while, they're going to try not to, they're going to be against you farming your land and planting a garden. They're going to try to take that right from you. Well, I'm going to prison. If God don't, they better leave me alone. I'm going to prison. That's the way I feed myself, and I will fight them to the death. I'll get my pump gun and I'll blow their brains out. And I said, well, God, take me to prison. I'm through. Don't come here messing with me. And then I said, when they come and take your land from you, you kill them too. You pull your gun out and you blow their brains out. Go to prison. And that's self-defense of your land and self-defense of your life, because you're scared for your life when they come there talking about beating you up and pulling on your clothes, talking about you can't be planting that corn here. I want you got to tear that greenhouse down. No, you can't have no garden in your backyard. You can't have no chickens no more. And some people dealing with that trash right now. They dealing with that trash right now because they want you to pay $50 a dozen for eggs. They want you to pay a whole bunch of money for their eggs that they got in these stores. And ask me, for a month and a half, I haven't even purchased no egg, and I'm not going to. I got my flax seeds and my chia seeds. And that's how I make something to keep my bread from falling apart. Better research something. I'm not going to be no damn fool. I don't need no eggs that bad. If I need something that bad, I guess I'll get some powdered egg. Some people love eggs, though. I'm not against you. Let's listen to this man with this African accent. He's trying to tell us something.
And redistribute it to the citizens in the country. This is great news, my friends. Great
That's
news for
great
the
news
Africans
for
and
that.
bad news for the white Europe.
You know, I don't understand it. I don't understand how European Americans in Africa can think that they're going to be staying on that land forever and ever and ever and ever, and they didn't pay not one penny for it. They took it from somebody else. And now a man, which he's a president, and it's good news for Africa, land reforms. And if people would do us right as African and enslaved people that used to be enslaved and give us reparations, that would be the right thing and will be good for us. But European Americans will be mad at us too. Just like European Americans are mad with the African people in Burkina Faso. They're mad at the African people. The white people mad at the African people because they want their land back. They want their land back. I don't care nothing about you getting mad. You took land too. And these people deserve their land back. And I hope they get every bit of it back at gunpoint. And there's going to be some bloodshed. So be it. And Elon Musk did evil stuff over there to those people too. His parents did. And now he coming into the White House and doing us like the same way that his parents did Africans. You heard me right. That white ass man, an African man, an immigrant in the White House with another white ass man that's doing people wrong. Come on. And taking people lives from them, threatening people, trying to make everybody shut up so they can rule. They'll do us bad if everybody shut up. If everybody gets scared in America and in that White House, these people will do us bad, girl. You better have your gun, young woman. Have your gun. I don't care. I believe in Jesus Christ of Nazareth too. But I damn sure believe in that gun too at the same time. And my arms hurting now. Sometimes my knee hurt. And I can't jump up as fast as I used to if I hear something at nighttime. I'll just be laid back just like this. Waiting on you. You walk through there if you want to. It ain't just me in this house, my husband in here too, but nobody else don't supposed to be coming through that door. And I just lay there. My leg hurting. And I'll watch that door. As soon as I hear you stand behind it, I'm going to go, boom, 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 chick, pow, pow, I'm going to kill you. Simple as that. Care what you think about me. I'm sick of folks doing us like dogs and getting away with it. I'm not a privileged black woman. That's why you don't like what I'm saying, because you're probably privileged. Get off of my live. Get off of my live. You probably privileged and you thinking I'm saying something wrong because black people need their land back here in America too. If it's happening in Africa, it's going to trickle down, baby, just like trickle down economics. We're going to get our land back. Or they better give us our damn reparations. I don't care where's our damn mule in 40 acres. I want it because they took our land from us. That's why you can't even plant anything. That's why you renting somewhere. That's why you don't even have a house. You ain't got no land to build on it. And we had land. I know we had land and people took it. Yeah. Listen up. He got an accent. But they want to redistribute this land to the rightful African owners that was displaced years and years ago while the European American was living high on the hog. And they think they have a right to stay there and take that from African people, and we not do anything about it. That's the sad part of it. A lot of people think that we should be living like animals anyway. And when we open our mouths, like I'm telling you all about this here, some of you, even African American, looking at me like you're stupid, you idiot. That's why you ain't got a damn thing. You don't believe in fighting for what you're supposed to have. You supposed to leave somebody handing something out to you on a silver platter and food stamps and stuff. I'm not knocking food stamps. They wouldn't give me none. And Medicare and Medicaid, and they getting ready to come and take you. Elon want to see you die. Donald Trump want to see you dead, baby. Why you think he finna take veterans' disability? They want to see them dead. They want to wipe us out so they can look around and just see nothing but European Americans in this country. That's what they want. Like it or not, that's what they really want deep down inside. Have you gone to a Mexican restaurant lately? I'm gonna get back to the video. Have you gone to a Mexican restaurant lately? What do you see? All right, American, Asian American restaurant lately. What do you see that's different now? I'll tell you what I see that's different. I'm gonna use Lucky's and Mi Pueblos in our area here. Lucky's and Mi Pueblos. I go to both of them, and I go there and I observe and I look. There was a time when Mexicans would come in there after they got through working for lunchtime and packed out Lucky's on the weekend and through the week too for their lunch breaks. Every table used to be packing full. Tell me what it's looking like now when you go into Lucky's. The owner of Lucky's working the tables. Nobody in there to even eat. That's what happens when a government come together and start deporting people that were struggling already. And they were not no murderers and they were not killers. And they was working the fields of America so you can have some strawberries and some grapes and oranges and bananas and cabbages. That's all they were doing. But you weren't satisfied with that, right? You weren't satisfied with them working. And I thank God for them. I thank God that they were here at a time helping and working. And we had some fruits in the store. And the fruits didn't cost too much, but fruits are always expensive. So now you're satisfied, right? Hmm? I'm just wondering. It's getting ready to warm up. And it's getting ready to be planting season after a while. Excuse me. It's going to be planting season after a while. You got them hundreds and hundreds of acres of land. Um, yeah, you probably can use that big machine to plant all them acres. Just plant. You ride down through there, you got something that drop all your soybean seeds, your cotton seeds, and everything. But cotton and soybeans can be processed with a machine. But what about strawberries and all those things that you're going to plant? Beans and watermelon and cantaloupes and peppers and onions, grapes. Who's going to pick your grapes and things for you? Well, maybe it's a possibility. Yeah, some black people may get out there and pick them for you, but you damn sure gonna be paying them. You ain't gonna be saying you can't pay them. I can tell you that right now. You end up losing your life if you do that. So who gonna pick your vegetables now and your fruit from your fruit trees? No, you didn't want them here. You remember? You didn't want them here, and now they gone. I go to my Pueblos and I looked, and I know I used to go there and I used to see that place full. It's empty now. If they hear, they're hiding still. They ain't coming out to this place. There ain't no way for nobody to live. They're not criminals. That's what it's all about. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, when that weather start warming up, it's gonna be some worried farmers in this United States of America. Y'all gonna worry real bad. Y'all gonna worry real bad. I may help you pick some strawberries. You're going to pay me $40 an hour. Yeah, I may come out there and say, yeah, you know, make me some money. You willing to pay me $40 an hour? I'll work a little bit because you got a bunch of money in the bank now. You can pay $40 an hour. You said, hey, well, we want to pay minimum wage. I don't want no minimum wage. Minimum wage is what, $7.35 an hour? I thought it was 15. Well, fast food restaurant, they pay at least 15 an hour. So you're not willing to pay $20 an hour for somebody to get out there and crawl around and pick up watermelons and haul them around and put them on the back of a truck. You're not willing to pay us $20 an hour. Well, pick them yourself. Pick them yourself, baby. You're going to pay us. Yeah, the Lord saw that you was doing them Mexicans. You weren't paying them right. Sometimes they didn't even get no check. And they were scared to go to the labor board because they would have been deported then or went to jail. So what are you going to do in April and May, and when things start growing? What you going to do when harvest time comes? You ain't thought about that, right? Well, thanks to Elon Musk and Donald Trump, you ain't got nobody to pick your food no more. That's who y'all wanted. That's who you got. I'm looking at a video on YouTube. And it's gonna be some death and some it's gonna be some death and dying going on. I believe. Because when somebody takes something from you as a black man or a woman by force, like taking your land from you, I'm talking about Africa now. And this president, he grew up in poverty, and he's the president now of Burkina Faso in Africa. He got a militia, he has a big military, weapons of mass destruction, but they don't have no nuclear weapons. I looked to see that they have any nuclear warheads, and they do not. But Russia friends with them, and China. China and Russia got ballistic weapons. Yeah, Africa, they don't meddle. They don't get meddle in no one business. They try to stay to themselves, and but they're not going to send any of their precious minerals to the United States anymore. And I don't blame them because they said the Western world was using them for their gold, silver, uranium, all their good minerals, diamonds. And this president is getting ready to do something going to make a whole lot of people mad. And that's why Donald Trump lying and Elon Musk lying on those people in Africa, y'all. And they putting that lie out there that black people going up in white people houses and shooting and killing them in bed. That's a funky lie. No, they're not. That's a lie. That's to draw negative attention toward that continent and for people to go there and start messing with them. But you're dead as you're going to die messing with that country because they've been in enough slavery already. They're going to fight. Because this man already formed a governmental takeover when the government in this city was doing poor people wrong. And they were doing them real dirty. They was taking land from them. They was just corruption. Nothing but corruption. And as a young boy, he knew that government was corrupt. He made his mind up that when he get grown, he was going to form an underground militia, probably. And they sent them some guns, probably from China or either Russia. I'm talking about automatic weapon, baby. They got firepower and bullets and ammunition. There ain't no country that you can just go over there and just take over without losing your life. Now, I wouldn't be surprised, not one bit, if this low-down administration here in America, I wouldn't be surprised if Elon Musk and Donald Trump plot something against that African nation and probably try to drop a bomb on that country. I wouldn't be surprised at all because they're evil. And they want those minerals that's underground in Africa. And this black president, African president, saying no more. I'm not sending you nothing. They mad in that White House, y'all. You better believe it. It's going to be over with if they mess with that African continent. You hear me? If it happened, Russia going to probably drop a bomb on us. Because Russia deals with this president in Burkina Faso. Vladimir Putin sent 25 to 50,000 pounds of grain over to Africa to feed the people when Donald Trump and Elon stopped USAID food from going to Africa. Vladimir did that. Yeah, look it up. It's online. He sent 25 to 50,000 pounds of grain to feed these starving Africans. Don't you know the Bible said the poor going to be amongst us always? So stop judging people that's poor in different countries. Because you just as poor now, baby, because they took your job from you. Be careful what you're saying now. But back to the video.
Opians.
Did you know that you can have permanent teeth in just 24 hours? That's right. Only 24 hours and your smile is ready. And with affordable payment options, achieving...
Listen.
I want you to listen, watch this video, and I will let you know in this video exactly what am I talking about. Let me give you some news here, my friends. In early 2025, President Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso announced a significant land reform policy aimed at reclaiming national resources from foreign control. This initiative mirrors similar efforts in South Africa to address historical land ownership disparities. The reform seeks to redistribute land to local communities, ensuring that the national's wealth benefits its citizens. The nation wealth.
Redistributing land to the African citizen. That's what this president in Africa is doing. He's trying to redistribute that stolen land that the Europeans came there and took from the Africans years and years and years ago. Right is right, y'all, and wrong is wrong, baby. I don't know how they could just sit back and think that their families and their children and grandchildren supposed to live the lives of luxury off the backs of the slaves of Africa, and while they are in poverty, no food, no clean water, dying from AIDS and smallpox, and the American people bought smallpox there and killed those people. What made them think that it was right what they were doing? And they got the best of the best land in Johannesburg and Cape Town. They all around the Sahara where all those animals walking around. And they got the best of the best land from these people. And big old beaches. Oh, it's so beautiful along those beach sides. I'm always looking at that stuff. And I'm like, that's why they came there and took it from the black African people. It wasn't right though. Listen to what he's saying. I know he got a dialect. You can pull that video up and listen to it yourself. You don't have to listen to me.
Benefits its citizens. This move has garnered international attention, reflecting Burkina Faso's commitment to sovereignty and economic justice. So, yes.
Economic justice. Economic justice. These people that took that land from these Africans, they stopped them from making a living on their land. They stopped them from being able to sell their fruits and vegetables. Yes, they did. But it's not going to be an easy task. It's not going to be an easy task. I believe Elon is with his dad now talking to do something against that man in Africa. And I already done text these people. I said, y'all watch yourself over in Africa. I said, be very, very vigilant now. Watch out for Elon Musk and Donald Trump because they want them gone. Sending people over there. I think they're going to block their borders, and I don't think they're going to let too many people in anymore. I don't think they're going to let too many people fly into Africa anymore. No, it's too dangerous. Because what he's trying to do, a lot of people do not like it. They want him gone.
Africans are coming together and rejecting neocolonialism and colonialism in Africa.
They're rejecting neo-colonialism and colonialism. They're rejecting it now because they were colonized by force, and the Dutch colonized them, took things from them, put them on the outskirts of hell somewhere for them to live, took their good old land that they was growing food on probably and mining diamonds from. You know, do you ever think about how they felt? I know they're dead and gone now, the main ones from the very beginning. Some of them, their children and grandchildren probably still living because it was going on for hundreds of years. But I'm talking about the very, very first settlers that was right there on that African continent. And see what they slicked, how they slicked those people. They had something up their sleeve all along. They start trading with those Africans, you know, to find out what they had for sale. Yeah. And when they start seeing they got diamonds and precious jewels, and probably like, where did they get that from? Where did these black Africans get this stuff from? They mining this here out of the ground? And that's what they did to them. They realized they had precious minerals and diamonds and gold. And they just said, well, let's take it. Let's take it from them. They don't have no guns. They weren't violent people. But they were like, I'm sure they tried, but a lot of times there's not much you can do if you don't have no gun, and the people that come in there got guns. And they bought smallpox there to kill them off. I believe they purposely brought smallpox there to kill those Africans. And a lot of them died because of it. How did they feel? That's a bad feeling. When I think about it right now, it's so insultive and disrespectful to do them like that. And I'm sure they was probably dressed a certain way. You know, indigenous African back then, maybe they probably had their little skirts on, their breast probably was hanging out and everything. They probably just used the women and did all kind of stuff to them and took the land from them. And that's what this administration is doing to everybody. Take, take, take. Federal jobs, take, take, take. Money, 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 take, take, take. Free up billions of dollars, take, take, take. They got to pay the 2025 workers, Project 2025 people got to get paid. So take your job from you and pay that woman. Take your job from you, Mr. Man, and pay that other man in Project 2025. And all these people they putting in the USDA and all these here, they firing thousands and thousands of people. And y'all think he gonna give us some money? Hold your breath until you give us some money then. Bet you end up being dead. It'll be good if they did, but it still doesn't make it right what they're doing to people.
Taking back their lands, my friends.
They're taking back their lands. Okay, that's it.
I did a video.
That's it for this here video. I'm gonna stop sharing this video, and I'm gonna move on to another one. I'm gonna move kind of fast now, people. Where am I forever advancing yourself, people? You all know how we do this thing. We take it from level to level to level to level. Somebody probably calling me, and I don't even hear the phone ringing. Wow. Okay, share screen. Y'all, it's just, whew. I'm going to do a history summarization for you. I'm going to try to do like a history summary and about Africa. I'm going to try to summarize it. You listen to it, but here we go. If you listen, I want to do a summary of what happened in that African continent, how the African people got to the point that where they're at right now. Let's see what happened to them. So if you don't know, this is like African American studies, history of Africa. Here we go.
That nearly all of Africa shares is that of colonization. Big European empires coming in, throwing down arbitrary borders, and exploiting the indigenous Africans in their quest for continental domination. And yeah, when the map looked like this in the 1900s, it's pretty hard to not picture those imperialist scenes in your mind. But as with most things in Africa, big sweeping characterizations obscure much more complex realities. There are myriad corners of the map where the relationship between native and newcomer was far more complex, and few places where that dynamic had bigger long-term implications than South Africa. Home to an astonishingly bustling web of narratives in the past few centuries, the southern end of the continent is a prime example of how Africans have taken and retaken the reins of their story. Now before...
Okay, you can go to YouTube, write this down if you want to look at the whole video. I don't have a lot of time to show you. But it's called History Summarized, South Africa. South Africa. Nelson Mandela fighting during the apartheid era, and they kept putting that man in jail. He was an old man, and every time he was fighting, they threw him in jail. I think they jailed his wife too, and some more people. There was freedom fighters.
Before I spend any more time pontificating in this intro, I have a lot of ground to cover, so let's do some history. Recognizably human settlement in southern Africa is about 500,000 years old, with anatomically modern Homo sapiens evolving around 200,000 years ago during the Middle Stone Age. Eventually, and we're talking about human evolution here, so that is a long eventually, there was some new technology in town. As the 1st or 2nd century BC saw the arrival of agriculture into southern Africa, and the early centuries AD brought ironworking. In the southwest, semi-nomadic pastoralists domesticated livestock and cultivated small plants, while the east saw larger and more permanent settlement after the arrival of the Bantu peoples from Central Africa. These groups brought with them the handy knowledge of how to make and use iron, which made farming significantly easier and helped their urban settlements sustain hundreds of people. By the medieval period, it was several thousands, as the Mapungubwe kingdom in the Limpopo Valley became a huge commercial hub in the 11 and 1200s with strong links to trading centers on the Indian Ocean coast. Mapungubwe and the Limpopo Valley later came under the umbrella of Great Zimbabwe, but that is a tale for another time. So by the middle of the second millennium, Southern Africa was rocking a variety of different ethnic and linguistic groups. But that diversity was of slim concern to the Europeans who would make their way into Africa over the next few centuries. In 1487, Portuguese sailors crossed southern Africa to pass into the Indian Ocean, and for the next century and a half, they simply treated the south coast as a rest stop. Not so after 1652, when the Dutch officially founded Cape Colony and set about a much bigger operation. From their port in Table Bay, they traded European and Asian goods with the local Khoikhoi people to get provisions for passing sailors. The port was built primarily for use by the Dutch East India Company, but was also open to foreign ships for a price. Keen to min-max this business model, colonists ventured beyond Table Bay in order to do some of the farming themselves. Easy money. The problem was that the Khoikhoi were slightly nomadic, moving around seasonally just as the early pastoralists in the region had done. But when Dutch farmers, or Boers, wandered onto a nice plot of land that wasn't occupied right this very second, they assumed it was finders keepers. When the Khoikhoi politely informed them that the land was, in fact, theirs, the Dutch revised their initial statement to conquerors' keepers and fought 2 wars between 1659 and 1677 to assert their claim. This would start a bit of a trend as Boers pushed further inland with the specific intent to stay. The accidental importation of smallpox in 1713 hit the Khoikhoi especially hard and significantly widened the opening for the Boers to step into. By the later 1700s, the Khoikhoi weren't widely enslaved or exported like West Africans had been for the Atlantic Triangle trade, but they were definitely suppressed into a servile working class. That said, there were chattel slaves in the Cape Colony, but they just weren't South African. Dutch sailors had actually imported slaves from the Indian Ocean, mostly Muslims, which further stratified the racial class system. Keep that in mind, because it'll show up later. But soon, even the Dutch would no longer be atop the pyramid, because some European geopolitical slapstickery, it's a Napoleon thing, resulted in Britain annexing the Cape Colony for themselves in the early 1800s, sending their own settlers to Port Elizabeth in 1820. They also sent tax collectors and abolished slavery, and this is where the colonial dynamic starts to get weird. Because the Boers had been living in southern Africa for a century and a half, in which time they'd incorporated French and Germans, and now beyond just Dutch colonists, they considered themselves Afrikaners, a local population that, after the arrival of the British, was now being oppressed by alien invaders. That, my friends, is one heck of a swerve, but they were serious, so they adopted the not uncommon strategy of running away from Britain, leaving the Cape Colony in the mid-1830s to trek northeast and establish the Oranje Vrystaat and the Zuid-Afrikaanse Republiek in the early 1850s. As we noted earlier, this land was very much inhabited, so let's hop eastward to see what the Bantu groups were up to. As it happens, lots. Since the late 1700s, the entire structure and demography of their societies were changing. With new approaches to militarization, small states were consolidating under stronger kings to form large states.
That's a lot of information to take in, isn't it? The only thing I could say is that every group of people that came to Africa, they had an ulterior motive to take from these people from the very beginning. Their intents were to take from them, take their land, trade with them, give them nothing for it. And this went on for years and years and years. I'm going to fast forward this thing. I'm going to slide it and let me see where I'm going to land, because it's 11 minutes long. I don't know what they're going to be talking about right here, but I'm jumping. Let's see.
Valor and strength against colonial aggression, with even the British Army holding them in a kind of dreaded reverence. Later that year, Britain returned with 5 times the soldiers, leaving absolutely nothing to chance. By the summer, the Zulu had been defeated, their kingdom partitioned, and the last major Bantu state conquered. From there, the last obstacle to dominating the subcontinent were the Boers in the north, who had just made the literally earth-shattering discovery of diamonds and gold in the Orange Free State and
they discovered diamonds and gold. So these soldiers came in and they defeated the Zulu tribe of Africans. And they brought in more and more soldiers to Africa to fight and kill these people, to take land. Woo! Listen to that.
Transvaal. So, naturally, Britain did the shooty shoot grabby grab. First failing in 1881 and then succeeding in 1902 with the help of 500,000 soldiers from across the empire. In 1910, the disparate British colonies were reorganized into the Union of...
They brought in 500,000 soldiers, 500,000 soldiers to take over the African continent, to take the land from those people. They came into the African continent killing these people to take their diamonds and gold. They came there and killed them to take what belongs to them. But they figured out, this is not yours. Looking at all them African American, them little African people running around, and most of them was probably half naked for real. I don't think they had any clothes back then, probably. I don't know. Maybe they did eventually. They made their clothing probably out of whatever. I don't know. Study it some. Here we go. Listen.
South Africa, and it wasted precisely 0 time restructuring the mines for peak efficiency. What began as a simple resource rush now developed into a highly organized and ultimately nation-defining industry, with no piece of South Africa untouched by the consequences of mining. The almost inconceivable power of these mining enterprises was largely a product of control over the outbound supply of diamonds so that the prices would stay high, and over the wages, workspace, and even living conditions of the miners who dug and refined it all. This was especially hard on black South Africans from outside the posh city centers, who left their rural families to do dangerous, labor-intensive gold mining work for extremely low pay because even that was still the best option. And it was probably harder on the women, who had to take care of the entire family and do the farming. In the early 1900s, South Africa was definitely not being subtle about the unequal distribution of land, the rampant wage discrimination, or the white monopoly on political power. This wasn't slavery, but it was a very robust system of discrimination, which history has come to know as apartheid. This overtly white
apartheid. All right, I'm gonna stop it right there. Wow. They made them work in the diamond mines, in the mining industry. I'm talking about labor-intensive work in hot sun. Wasn't paying them anything. Discrimination. And then, like he said, we know it as apartheid. You can look at it further. The name of this video on YouTube is History Summarized, South Africa. All right, let me stop sharing this. Where am I forever advancing yourself, people? You all know how we do this thing. We take it from level to level to level to level. I'm going to stop sharing this. This is horrible. All right, let's get back in here. All right, I've been on here an hour and 17 minutes. I'm about to wrap it up. Let me present something else to you. I'm going to share my screen again. And usually you all will be able to see it. I'm just doing 2 cameras now. I'll upload this here eventually. And that way you can see the names of the videos. Let's see here. Here's another video. Let's see. Just a minute. I think it's this one. Let me share this. That's strange, but it's that one right there. Okay, with the map. Just a minute. I'm just trying to make sure I got the right thing.
In the spotlight after US President Donald Trump decided to step in where he wasn't invited. His big move? Cutting off US aid to the country over its newly approved land reform policies. But what really got people talking was what happened next. Just days after Trump's announcement, Burkina.
Okay. The title of this particular video, again, is similar to the first one, but it's about land reform again, talking about Captain Traore ignores the U.S. President Trump, and he partners with South Africa to create new land reforms. This here African president is trying to get land back that the European Americans are living on right now, and they took it from the Africans, right? This is what this is about. He's a very powerful man.
Faso's president, Ibrahim Traore, made a bold move of his own, declaring that from now on, all land in the country belongs to the government. This decision has sparked a heated debate. Some call it a smart strategy, while others see it as a dangerous power grab. But why did Traore push for such a drastic change? And what does it mean for farmers, businesses, and...
I know why he pushed for it. Don't you know why this African president is doing this? I know why. He grew up in poverty. His parents probably was forced off of their land that they own by European Americans. And European Americans, I'm not picking at you all. I'm not picking at you all. You all know the history of Africa. You know it. And I'm just sharing it with everybody. And so Traore's family probably was forced off of their land. He was a little boy and he was in nothing but poverty, living in a hut. After they took them away from their land where they was farming and living and had wild stock and cattle, and you know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to play it.
Foreign investors in Burkina Faso. Let's break it down. On February the 5th, Burkina Faso's Council of Ministers approved a new bill that completely changed how land is owned in the country. During a key meeting, Economic Minister Abubakar Nakano explained that this reform was designed to optimize land management.
Hey everyone, Chris Tomlin here, executive producer of The Last Supper, coming to theaters starting March 14th. One of the things that
and ensure the government plays a stronger role in overseeing land use. In simple terms, the government now owns all the land. For years, land in Burkina Faso was controlled through customary laws. Local communities managed and passed down land through generations based on traditions. Families felt a strong connection to their land, and ownership was deeply rooted in history. But this system wasn't perfect. With no clear legal documents, land disputes were common. Powerful elites often took advantage of the system, leaving ordinary citizens with little protection. Now, with this new reform,
no, they didn't have any protection, because when somebody take your land from you like that happened to the Africans in this European America, the people became fearful and they didn't know what to do. They didn't have anyone fighting for them. And so they just took it. They just gave their land up to these people. And their livestock, they took their livestock too. And they just felt helpless probably. They couldn't do anything. But now, it's probably going to be some trouble for real. Because these elite European Americans, privileged people, they're not going to want to give that land up. They got stuff built on it, and they're not going to want to give it up. They don't own it, though. They took it. They didn't pay anybody. The state didn't get any money or anything. They took it. So they have a bunch of money in their pocket, and maybe this African president can negotiate with these people that took that land, but they got a lot of stuff built on the land. I'm about fairness. Well, you're going to have to pay for it. Now, no, I'm not wrong about it. If you want to stay here, and the state own that land now, they talking about a power grab. No, it was no different than what happened to the Africans when people came in and started taking their land from them. I'm talking about ages ago. But in the end and in the beginning, they did take the land from the people. And they did not own that land. It's the same way in America. Our land got taken from us too. Yeah. But what I'm saying, this here president got a real dangerous job on his hand when you talk about taking land from somebody. But he's prepared and they're ready. Because he got a military of 50,000 men. And I'm sure he's going to have most of them with him when he go into certain areas or send out letters and give them a little time to think about it. We want you to pay $150,000 for that land since you took it. They may be able to pay some of it. They may be willing to pay for it because they know they took it. They know they took it.
all of that has changed. The government has taken control, and local authorities will now oversee land use through official regulations. Some critics argue that Traore is just consolidating power, but his administration insists that this is a calculated strategy to fix long-standing land issues. By shifting ownership to the state, the government can introduce a structured system where land is leased out for long-term use, anywhere from 18 to 99 years. This move, they claim, will bring stability, attract investments, and ensure that land is used more efficiently. But is there more to the story? If you are still watching this video, it means you love it. Why not take out a second and hit that like button? Have you done that? Let us move on. If there's one thing President Ibrahim Traore has made clear, it's that he is fiercely committed to protecting Burkina Faso's sovereignty. And his latest move? A land reform law that puts an end to foreign ownership of land in the country. This is a major shake-up. Across Africa, it's common to see foreign companies and investors buying up massive amounts of land. Why? Because the continent is rich in natural resources and has vast stretches of fertile land. And, for years, foreign entities have taken full advantage of weak land protections, securing enormous plots for farming, mining, and carbon offset programs. This isn't a new problem. Foreign corporations, sovereign wealth funds, and even banks have been snapping up African land for years, often at the expense of local farmers.
Taking their land from them, even the banks, just snatching up land. Somebody come up in the bank and they say a description of the land that they want. And let's say it's in Johannesburg somewhere. And they say, well, yeah, I want about 200 acres of that land right there. And how much could I get it for? And the banks give them an amount. Yeah, well, it's vacant land. But somebody owned that land. Someone owned that land, people. Believe that. Someone owned that land. It was occupied before the settlers even came to the continent of Africa. So it tells you somebody owned it. And they need to do something about it. I have no problem with what this president is getting ready to do.
The trend became especially noticeable after the 2007 to 2008 global financial crisis, when skyrocketing food prices triggered a race to control prime farmland. At the time, European citizens were shocked to learn that their banks and corporations were involved in deals that pushed African farmers off their land. And while the crisis eventually faded from headlines, the rush for land never really stopped. In fact, it's only gotten worse. Today, land prices worldwide have more than doubled. And this new wave of land grabbing is fueled not just by agriculture, but by industries looking to profit from carbon credits, mining, and mega development projects. The result? Small farmers, indigenous communities, and herders are being displaced at an alarming rate. Take, for example, Blue Carbon, a firm based in the Gulf. It recently secured a staggering 25 million hectares of land across 5 African countries. That's 10% of Liberia's total land area and 20% of Zimbabwe's land. Gone, just like that. For Burkina Faso, this isn't just about land, it's about survival. By shifting ownership to the government, Traore is putting a stop to large-scale foreign land acquisitions that strip local communities of their resources.
Good. He's stopping these foreign entities from buying that land from those poor people, just taking land, pushing them on the outskirts of nothing but overcrowding, slum areas. No one has any land because all these foreign governments all around the world bought it up for a little to nothing, and this man got a job on his hand. So if he put a stop to it right now, they can't buy any more land. And I think that's good. And if he does right, which I think he will, he'll redistribute that land to these people that's living in nothing but poverty and to give them a lot of land to farm. And he said, give it to them for anywhere from like 20 to 189 years. Give them enough time to farm it. It's not like he's taking it. He's leasing it out. They can't afford to buy it. But the land belongs to their country.
But that's not all. For decades, land in Burkina Faso has been mismanaged, with vast stretches sitting idle. Now, with the government in charge, land can be allocated efficiently for large-scale farming projects that will help improve food security.
Yeah.
Beyond agriculture, Burkina Faso has also faced ongoing conflicts between farmers, herders, and migrating populations over land rights.
All right, you all. I'm going to stop sharing. That's going to do it for me. The only thing I wanted to do was to let you all see what's getting ready to go on in South Africa. And what are we experiencing right now as Americans in the United States of America? Doesn't it seem like our American United States is falling? You know, how will your summer be this summer? How will you feel during the spring? What's going to happen? What is Donald Trump and Elon Musk going to be trying to do to make us miserable in this country all summer long? I wouldn't be surprised if another virus pop up. I wouldn't be surprised at all, because it's just a way to wipe out people. You know, they have ways of putting things out there to kill people. Poor people, old people, people that have bad health. That's why I've been telling you all to do something to boost your immune system. Do something. Because I don't know. It's just horrible. It really is horrible. All right, where am I forever advancing yourself, people? You all know how we do this thing. You take it from level to level to level to level. I'm going to upload this YouTube video to Facebook, and you look at the title of that video on YouTube and you pull it up and you start researching for yourself. So when you hear something, you'll know what's going on, because it's going to make the news. It's definitely going to make the news. Bye. Goodbye.